Good morning, children. I hope you all are safe and sound and doing well. I also hope you all are following social distancing as it is the easiest way to defeat coronavirus. Yes, children, the whole world has come to a standstill due to COVID-19 outbreak. In these tough times, I, Himani Pundir, PGT English at Army Public School, find it my utmost responsibility to play my role as a teacher and provide every child out there with the best of study material. COVID-19 outbreak can close the school buildings, but we teachers are not ready to play victim. Rather, we are working harder than ever. So, children, here I am with today's topic, which is a poem titled as Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. So, children, without further ado, let us begin with the poem. This poem is a woman's desire for freedom and fearlessness. So, children, let us begin with the first stanza. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Children, in these lines, we can see that there is a woman whose name is Jennifer, and she is being addressed as Aunt Jennifer by the poetess. Now, what is this woman doing? She is creating tigers. How can a woman create tigers? Aunt Jennifer is creating her tigers by embroidering them. She is embroidering or creating tigers on a screen. What is this screen? This screen is a piece of cloth. Now, it can be a wall hanging and it can be a tablecloth also, right? So, Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. We have come to know that she is creating tigers. She is embroidering them. And the tigers created by Aunt Jennifer, they are prancing across a screen. Here you want to know the meaning of the word prance? Prance means walk or move around with high springy steps. So children, these tigers that are created by Aunt Jennifer, they are not sitting, they are not lazy creatures. They are royal creatures, they are full of pride and they are walking and their walk is quite royal. Okay? They are walking confidently. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Now here the poetess has compared these tigers with a precious stone which is called as topaz. The reason behind comparing these tigers with topaz is the similarity between the two. What is the similarity between a topaz and a tiger? The similarity is that both are yellow in color. And as topaz is a precious stone, tiger is also a precious creature to nature. Now, these bright topaz, these tigers are the denizens of a world of green. Denizens means dwellers, residents, inhabitants, right? So these tigers who are yellow in color, they are the residents of a world of green. They don't live in city like you and me. They live in a world of green, that is jungle. Now in third and fourth line, the poetess writes, they do not fear the men beneath the tree. They, the tigers, because they are the king of the jungle. They are not at all afraid of the men beneath the tree. Now children, here you have to understand that Aunt Jennifer, when she is embroidering tiger, she has embroidered some men also who are standing or sitting beneath a tree. Now these tigers, they are not at all afraid of these men. They are fearless and they are walking with pride and their walk is elegant. As in the fourth line the poetess says, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Sleek means Their walk is elegant. Chivalric certainty. Now, in ancient times, it was considered that the warriors, especially knights, they were courteous towards women. So, these tigers have this additional quality of being chivalric. And while they walk, they are walking with confidence. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So, children, what did we learn in first stanza? That in first stanza, the poet is talking about a lady whom she addresses as Aunt Jennifer. What is this woman doing? She is embroidering a piece of cloth. It could be a tablecloth or a wall hanging. The pattern on the cloth shows tigers who are moving and jumping around all over the fabric. They are bright yellow in color, like the color of the topaz stone. And this is an example of metaphor, right? The dense green forest background is their home. They are the proud and fearless citizens of the forest. Now, children, here is a contrast between Aunt Jennifer and the tigers that are being created by her. Because according to the poetess, this lady, Aunt Jennifer, she is timid, she is weak, she is an oppressed wife, whereas the tigers that she is creating are fearless, they are full of pride, and they are not afraid of anyone around. Now, children, very quickly we will move towards our second stanza. Now, children, let us begin with stanza number 2, that is line 5 to line 8. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Now, children, here the poet is telling us about the body language of Aunt Jennifer. And she describes the fear of Aunt Jennifer towards her husband. She says that while she is doing embroidery, her fingers are quivering, that is, shaking with fear of her husband. Maybe her husband doesn't approve of her hobby of embroidery. Therefore, she trembles while she is embroidering the piece of cloth. It has become difficult for her to pull her needle up and down. Now, children, if you notice, the poetess has used the term ivory. Ivory means something that is made up of the elephant's tusk. This needle is made up of elephant's tusk and it is very light in weight. Still, Aunt Jennifer finds it hard to pull. In next lines, the poetess says, "The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand." Here she describes the wedding ring. Wedding band means wedding ring, which was given by uncle to Aunt Jennifer on their wedding day. Children, it is custom in Christians that on their wedding day they exchange rings. Like in Hindu culture, we exchange garlands. She says that it is a kind of burden for her to wear this ring. The term massive weight, it doesn't mean that the ring had a diamond of 5 kg. No, it is the symbol of burden, okay? And this burdensome ring sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. She has been tortured by her husband so much. Children, let us move towards our stanza number 3. In third stanza, the poetess says, "When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by." Here the poetess suggests that throughout her married life, Aunt was dominated and mastered by her husband. She is ringed in the ordeals of marriage, and even after her death, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. That is, the difficulties she has faced throughout her married life, she will have to face them even after her death, because even after her death, she will be wearing that wedding band in her hand. Now, what will these tigers do when the aunt is dead? These tigers will remain the same. They will remain as courageous, as confident, and as royal as they are in the embroidery. They will be carrying on, prancing, proud, and unafraid. So, children, this was third stanza. Let us take a quick review of third stanza. In this stanza, the poetess says that Aunt Jennifer is an oppressed woman who was mastered by her husband throughout her married life. She will remain the same even after her death, but the tigers that she has created will remain the same, and they will be as confident, as proud, and as unafraid as they are in the creation of Aunt Jennifer. Now, children, let's take a quick review of the poem. In this poem, the poet expresses the inner feelings of a woman whose name is Aunt Jennifer. Aunt Jennifer is embroidering a motif comprising of energetic, fearless, and confident tigers moving freely around the bright greenery. She is living a world of submissiveness to her husband's command. Her acts are dominated by him, and she fears him constantly. This pattern of the free and fearless tigers reflects her inner desire to live a free and fearless life. And maybe this is why she chose tigers. She was a weak and timid personality. She should have opted for butterflies or flowers or some soft birds. Instead, she opted for tigers. These tigers are graceful, elegant, and bright. Aunt Jennifer's fingers tremble as she embroiders. She is old but still fears her husband. She does not enjoy the freedom to do anything as per her wish. She is scared doing the embroidery too and fears his fate. Since the day she got married, she has seen difficulties. She has faced difficulties and she has been fulfilling the demands of her husband. The wedding ring on her hand is a constant reminder that she belongs to her husband. The burden of the demanding marriage has exhausted her. The torment will not end until her death. Even after her death, the ring will remain on her hand and she will never be free. On the other hand, the tigers that she is embroidering will continue to move around freely forever. Her desire of freedom and fearlessness will live on through her tigers. So children, this was the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. I hope you understood it well. Now let us talk about the poetic devices that have been used in this poem. Children, if you look at line number 2, in line number 2, the poetess calls these tigers bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Here the poetess is comparing the yellow color of tigers with that of the precious stone topaz. So children, this is an example of metaphor, right? Now, in line number 4, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. If you look at chivalric certainty, the first letters of both the words are same, that is C. And when there is repetition of a particular letter or say consonant, it is an example of alliteration, right? Now, in line number 5, again, there is an example of alliteration when the poetess writes fingers fluttering. F is repeated twice in this line, fingers fluttering, and so it is an example of alliteration. In last line also, there is another example of alliteration when she writes prancing and proud. The repetition of this consonant P, right? So children, this was the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much.